For those of you who aren't addicted to Twitter, there's this guy who lives there named Hasan Piker. Hassan is genuinely one of the most talented armpit moggers on the internet, but most of the time he's talking about politics while tweeting on his Twitch stream. Recently, he turned his attention towards me, and I think it's because I may have hurt his feelings. I'm gonna watch and react to his monologue about me. Let's start this YouTube video.
We're alive, and I hope everyone's having a wonderful time. Another theory that I have, is I have many theories, as you know, is that a lot
theories.
of blue no matter who people are simply regime loyalists. They fancy themselves to be more intelligent than the MAGA cult, but they sometimes engage in cultish thinking as well. I think a lot of people that present themselves as like diehard, you know, riding with Biden supporters, riding with Kamala supporters, don't necessarily have like a real ideological commitment to third way neoliberalism, but instead have a loyalty to the Democrats because they believe in the harm reduction theory. Now, the harm reduction theory is correct.
Jesus Christ, this dude thinks he's a professor. My God.
Protecting the marginalized identities that it's supposed to protect is just simply better in comparison to the Republicans, and year over year it just gets worse and worse for the base of support because the Republicans are constantly ratcheting the country in a rightward trajectory. And harm reduction theory is obviously demonstrably a failure in terms of drawing out voters, right? It doesn't fucking work. So technically it fails in reducing harm. It's not harm reduction necessarily, but it's harm delay. And even then, it's not even doing harm delay because you end up losing if that's the...
I just want to say the context of this video is he's criticizing Zoran for endorsing the governor of New York too early before getting concessions. And all I said was that I think Zoran is better at politics than Hassan. So let's go back to his little thing.
The reason why my theory is that a lot of these guys are just like regime pilled, simply regime pilled and going along with whatever the regime presents them, and they're defending it unconditionally, is because of that one massive Democratic Party booster, Stacey K.
Hey, it's me.
Understandable, but mild criticism in the direction of Zoran Mamdani and the timing of his endorsement of Kathy Hochul.
Look how many words he's got to do before he introduces what I actually said. It's like he gets paid by the word, honestly. Just show what I said. You don't have to start off talking about multiple theories about politics. We are 3 minutes into this video, okay? And he's still beating around the bush.
So,
I guess this is what streamers do.
I know he wanted to do this to get ahead of the New York Democratic Party's like obvious endorsement where Kathy Hochul secured like 85%, all this stuff. But regardless, you don't have to put yourself out there. You don't have to present yourself as a defender of the machine at all. This is not necessarily an argument about like why endorse Kathy Hochul at all. I understand the political machinations at play here. I understand the reasons as to why you would do such a thing. I just don't agree with the timing of it.
I think that Zoran endorsed Kathy Hochul when he did because they had an agreement. They had already talked about this. He said things he wanted. She was like, okay, I'll do that. I think that once you elect a politician, let them do work. Like, they know what's going on the inside and you don't. So maybe just shut up about it. But I know it's his job, so he's got to talk about it.
It's normal and healthy to have reasonable disagreements from time to time. What's interesting about it is, here is the difference between someone having a healthy disagreement with someone who is ideologically on their side. Me versus a regime enjoyer. Stacey K says, I honestly think Zoran Mamdani is better at politics than Hassan.
See, what I'm saying is he had to say all of these words and have all of these caveats and talk all about theories and all that kind of stuff, leading up to the one comment that hurt his feelings, where I said that I think Zoran is better at politics than Hassan. That's what it's all about.
My point is, Zoran is my guy, not your guy.
Zoran is not your guy. Zoran is Zoran. If you didn't exist, Zoran would have got elected because that is a likable dude, really good at talking, with a great media team. You rode on his shoulders. You don't own politicians. You're not fucking Jeffrey Epstein. I don't think so, anyway. That's not your guy. He's a guy.
The type of person who says, this is too woke, this is too pie in the sky. You stand in opposition to someone like Zoran until they win. And when they win, you're like, now Zoran is my guy.
For what it's worth, I was supportive of Zoran the entire time. I've never said a negative thing about the guy. I always wanted Cuomo to lose. So just throwing that out there.
You know, I will defend her rights unconditionally, regardless of the fact that her politics is so disastrously bad that it probably will elect the most transphobic administration possible.
What a good guy. He's going to defend my rights no matter what, but he's going to blame me for Trump getting elected.
Either it's a Democratic administration that's leaning into the transphobia of the Republicans or the maximalist transphobic Republican administration. I will still be out there fighting for her rights regardless, right? But that's not...
I will still be out there fighting for her rights, even though I think she's a huge piece of shit who got a Nazi elected.
That's neither here nor there. The point that I'm trying to make here is that these people do not have the ideological commitment to third way neoliberalism.
So here's the problem. You use words like third way neoliberalism, and you think you're the reason Zoran got elected in New York City, okay? Listen, if you keep using words like that, anytime a politician is getting big or whatever, they're gonna need some distance from you, because that's some weird shit. Just talk like a human.
It looks like they have some sort of ideological commitment to third way neoliberalism is because they are incapable of thinking for themselves. They're incapable of having a political machination that is totally separate from whatever the party is representing.
You say that I'm not capable of thinking for myself, and that's why I support Democrats. Buddy, listen, I've lived in Republican states my whole life. I mean, I actually lived in Arkansas for a while, back when it used to be a Democrat state, and back when it was a Democrat state, it was better. It was a better place. And then in 2008, Obama got elected, and Arkansas was so racist, it shifted all the way to Republican. And everything fell apart. Medicaid got cut. The government sucks now. It sucks to be in Arkansas. And then later, they started passing all this transphobic stuff, and now I can't use the bathroom in Arkansas. And when Democrats are in charge, it's better. And so I uprooted my life from Kansas to move to Maryland because I knew that the laws here will protect me.
My point is, these people don't actually have any political machinations, any interest in like an affirmative vision. They're constantly on the defense. Yes, as the chatter said, they are loyal, unthinking soldiers.
No, I have thoughts, and that's Republicans fucking suck. I hate Republicans. I like this country. I don't think Hassan does. I think that we've done a lot of cool stuff as a country, and I think that every single thing wrong here is because of conservatives. They get in and fucking defund, ruin, and destroy everything they touch in the name of cutting taxes and hating on minorities. That's what they do.
You do need people like that. You need some cadres. Yeah, she's literally an apparatchik, lol. Exactly.
What the...
Point is, I welcome them because they play a major role in the grand design that I have and that many of you, I think, understand at this point, which is dramatically reshaping American politics by...
Okay, all right. This dude, he thinks he's a Batman villain. Like, straight up. What did he say?
Because they play a major role in the grand design that I have and that many...
They play a major role in the grand design that I have.
I think understand at this point, which is dramatically reshaping
American politics. I do actually think he believes he's a Batman villain. Like, I think he thinks he's a mastermind.
I think the vast majority of the voting population have no personal opinion about how this country should run or what a decent future for this country would look like. They have no grand design. They have no ideological commitment to anything. They're simply operating on a defensive posture.
So you're telling me I can't think for myself, but I'm just responding to what political party has ruined my life. That's my thought process. It's not on some higher order plan to reshape American politics. No, I just want my life to not fucking suck.
The voters, I mean. They're followers. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You need a yeah-based guy. You need many yeah-based guys. And these are our yeah-based soldiers. These are the people who see themselves as...
I'm gonna be real with you. If you think that I'm a soldier on your side, maybe you should never, ever say what you just said, publicly, because that's not how you talk about your soldiers. If Napoleon ever talked about his soldiers that way and it got printed in the papers and everywhere, the dude's not going to have an army. So I don't think you're serious about that. I think you're just talking about it for Twitter engagement and Twitch engagement, because it drives views.
All it would take for these people to defend and preach the gospel of socialism or communism would be if the Democratic Party was a communist party or a socialist party. Not saying that that'll happen. As I have said over and over again, if Bernie Sanders had won in 2016, the Democratic primary, every single one of these, like, oh, I'm never voting for a socialist ass people, I'm pro Hillary Clinton ass people, would have become major Bernie dick rides.
I never said I want to vote for a socialist. I actually voted for Bernie in 2016. All right? I wanted him to win.
The evidence for this suggestion comes from 2008, because when Hillary Clinton had a diehard cult-like fan base,
The overwhelming majority of the Democrats voted excitedly for Barack Obama and became lifelong Barack Obama stans. They're just fucking loyalists. What they see in front of them magically becomes totally available and in the realm of possibility and something that they demand. They are the ones who lack the vision. They are the ones who are not audacious enough to dream. But you need people like that. You got too many dreamers, too many yearners, too many ideological delineations, and all of a sudden you have too many problems, too many cooks in the kitchen. So my point is, we shouldn't be spending a good deal of time trying to fucking yell at these people. We should work to identify how we can get them on board in the primary structure to vote for the most left candidates possible by pumping them full of the electability argument, and that's it. Now, of course, they get their notes from mainstream media, and mainstream media, for the most part, is still very much committed to the think tanks that churn out policy papers with regular frequency, that have a very clear vision of defending liberalism, defending third-way neoliberalism in particular. So you just have to do your very best to continue pumping it. These same idiots join the bandwagon and do left bashing every chance they get, fuck them. Yeah, but they don't do it because they have a serious liberal commitment. You understand? That's my...
All right, and I want to remind everybody the context of this video. This was because he was criticizing Zoran for some minuscule thing that he knows nothing about. And I said, I think Zoran knows more than him. I don't think that that's left bashing, actually. I think he's the one who's left bashing, if anything, unless you want to say Zoran is on the right. I guess if you set yourself up as the ultimate end game of the left, like this guy thinks he's doing, this mastermind who's crafting all of this mass media, what, I don't know, the stuff that's going on is in his head, man. Like, how much Adderall does this dude take? Does he believe that he's God? Honestly, he reminds me of like Dennis from Always Sunny, the way he just talks about things like he's completely in charge.
They do left bashing because they're learning that from MSNBC. They're learning that from the mainstream resources that they're reading. They would not be engaging in left bashing if...
I'm not left bashing. I'm you bashing because I don't like you. I think you're arrogant. You think that you own politicians once they get elected, and that's just not how it works.
My point is, they're an empty vessel.
A dude called me an empty vessel. Yeah, sure. It's not misogynistic at all. His audience actually super didn't like some of the stuff he was saying about Zoran. They like Zoran maybe more than they like him. Who knows? So after he recorded that video about me, there was a bunch of like online discourse going around talking about trans people as it relates to politics. He's calling people shit libs and, you know, using weird words. He says he would vote third party if it was Gavin versus JD Vance, which is insane. I don't know. Things have been horrible. I don't know how you would keep saying stuff like that, like there aren't consequences to things going on. But this is one of my friends here, Ari Drennan. She comes in and says that that's stupid and Gavin would be a much better situation than JD Vance. And Hassan's not very happy about that.
You're yelling at one of the few people that does give a fuck about trans people in general, okay? That's all you're doing. Democrats don't give a fuck about you. They would literally shoot you in the fucking head if it meant that they would be able to secure additional electoral wins. Shut the fuck up.
You can't trust anybody but me. I'm the only one out here fighting for you. Don't you understand that, faggots? You bunch of trannies? I'm trying to save you. The Democrats don't love you. Only I love you. So like, share, and subscribe this video. I feel like he kind of completely lost his cool. There was a very different mood from this video about me that ended up leading into this reaction about Ari. By the way, good job, Ari. Hope you're having a good time out there. So anyways, I just want to say that Hasan Piker doesn't care about trans people.